Hey guys, it's Jake SU of Dropship Legacy. Today we're going to go over creating the ad within the ad account. So to start that, all we have to do is go to create campaign over here. Excellent. I'm just going to start over. Let's go to conversions first. All right, well, let's just name it KitchenNet. Great. United States, Los Angeles time. Please choose Los Angeles time if you have not already. That's Facebook's time and you want to be in that time zone. Just trust me on this. Alright. And then we're going to go ahead and name this up here. And this is on the ad set level. We'll just call it KitchenNet. Let's target Australia today. Then here we have all the conversion events that we can optimize for. So there's view content, there's add to cart, and then there's also purchase. I like to optimize for purchases solely just because I do the affiliate method first and I build my intelligence. The pixel is already smart, so I can optimize for purchases right out of the gate. So I'm going to choose purchases, but if you have not optimized your pixel and got it to an intelligent level, you will want to start off likely with view content or add to cart. I'm going to choose purchases. And we're going to go down to our targeting options here. So we have custom audiences here. So if I have what we call a lookalike audience or a custom audience, I could insert it right here. And we'll go over creating custom audiences and lookalike audiences in the next few lessons, but so we can come back to that another time. Wow, I'm making a lot of sales right now. Anyways, United States here. I'm just going to X that out. And like I said before, we're going to target Australia first. I'm going to choose Australia here. As you can see, I highlighted it. We're good. Now for age, I'm going to leave the age alone. There's plenty of old cat ladies out there. And then there's plenty of people who might be thinking of them. Same with gender. Just about anyone might take someone in this post, whether it's a gift or they're actually genuinely interested in the cat mats. So I'm just going to leave it all alone. If it is like a specific gender-based product, you may want to dive down into the specific genders, but I'm going to let Facebook optimize this automatically for me, so I'm just going to leave it alone. Same goes for language. You can choose, let's say, English if you really wanted to, but I'm just going to leave it as is, just to keep the audience broad as possible here. And again, Facebook optimizes. Now, detailed targeting. This is a section where a lot of people want to dive down into if you are working with a cold Facebook pixel and building that intelligence from scratch. So there's a lot of different interests that we can go into for all these affinity categories. You got the demographics, got certain behaviors. I believe you can even do like active credit card users, Facebook purchases, maybe not business purchases. Let's try purchases alone, online purchases. There's not a lot of people in that category for Australia. I know there is more within the US. Yeah, I wouldn't use any of these here. Active credit card user I might use, but we're not going to dive down into that right now. Let's say if I was starting from scratch and I wanted to target people who loved cats, I'm probably going to type in cats, right? So I'm just going to do cats. Cat lovers, why not? And you can see how many people are in this category. We can just layer interest after interest. Must love cats. We love cats, sure. Cats. Crazy cat lady, yes, why not? Cute cats. Crazy cat ladies. Meow, meow, meow. Nope. We can do, let's try kitten. Ooh, that's quite a big audience to work with there. Let's see if we can find some more. that. The Daily Kitten Rescue. You can go as specific as you want. Exploding Kittens. Makes me wonder if people who play that particular card game would be interested in this. We can always split test that, and I'll show you guys how to split test that in the next few lessons. So I'm just going to leave this at here. Looks like we have an audience of 12 million to work with, and here's the estimated daily results. Now, expand interest when it may increase conversions at a lower cost per conversion. I actually like to unselect this just because it might expand into other categories that I just don't know. And especially if we're doing split testing, I feel like it defeats the point of split testing. So we're just gonna take this off. And since we're on the topic of split testing, this here is technically not a split test. This is just cat lovers or crazy cat lady or kitten love cats. Any of those categories people can fit into for our targeting. So it's not doing cat lovers and crazy cat lady and kitten. It's just saying or instead of and. All right, so we're going to move forward down into automatic placements versus edit placements. I highly suggest going to edit placements. So we're going to do that. For all devices, we can do mobile or desktop only. We're just going to leave it on all devices because that's what I typically do. I always tick off Instagram just because if we're going to use Instagram, we're going to run that as a separate campaign. And I have another lesson dedicated to running Instagram ads, so we will cover that another time. Facebook here, we use the feeds. We do not use the instant articles here. You can use right column. That's kind of up to you. I personally like to use right column, especially for all the countries I work with. But again, it might not work for you. And this is why we're always testing. So test it out for your business. As for audience network, this is what shows up on mobile devices during apps, and sometimes even articles that you see online. I'd personally like to keep audience network on, especially if I'm using, let's say, an ad towards phone cases. I'll definitely leave this on. But for general purposes, I like to leave audience network on. Whether you like to or not, that's up to you. So we're just going to leave that be. Again, as I mentioned before, you can do mobile or desktop only. So we're just going to keep moving forward. Oh, also, while we're here, you can do specific mobile devices and operating systems. So let's say I want to target iOS devices only or Android devices only, or specific iPhone devices or specific Android devices. We could do all of that here. So let's say I wanted to do, and no one likes to use iPads maybe, but then you can do, say iPhone 6S Plus. We could target specific 6S Plus users, etc. Makes sense, right? So we're going to just get rid of this, and we're going to just go back to all mobile devices. You can exclude categories if you need to. I typically just leave all of this alone. And then most importantly, we are going to discuss the budget for your ad. I always set it as a daily budget, and you can set it whatever you're comfortable with, but just keep in mind it's the amount of data that you can collect in one day versus, several days can make a huge difference. So if you're impatient like me sometimes, and I'm a patient person, but not with Facebook ads, I like to set my budgets higher just so I can get the data quicker. So if you're using a daily budget at, let's say, $5 a day, I wouldn't be able to make an accurate judgment, I would say, for 3 to 4 days, because I usually decide to keep or cut my ads after it has spent $20. And if I set it for $20, then I'm going to get that amount of data that I need within 1 day instead of 3 to 4 days. Does that make sense? So this is when people ask me, like, when should I cut or keep my ad? It's all based on the amount of data you have, not necessarily how much you're spending per day or how many days you should cut it after. All right, so again, I leave this setting alone after I've set my budget. Again, I'm optimizing for conversions. That's perfectly fine. It's giving me this message just because I just put the pixel on the dummy site, so that is why you're seeing that. Conversion window, 7 days versus 1 day. Supposedly 7 days is better for conversions because Facebook has 7 days worth of data to optimize off of versus just 1 day. So theoretically, it does make sense to use a 7-day window because you're working with a lot larger buyer audience versus a 1 day where you're just working from the previous day's audience. You're more than welcome to test it out. I used to use 1 day before the 7-day came out, but now I use 7 days. And then there's the bid amount, automatic versus manual. We're just going to leave it at automatic for now. We'll discuss manual in the bonus section further down the road, and then we're just going to click continue. All right, so now we want to rename our ad here. We can name it Kitten Mat Review. Review. All right, and then we have our page selected here. Use an existing post. As you can see, the post that we created earlier has populated here. You can check how it looks on the mobile feed. It looks like they gotta click more to hit the link. Feature phone, desktop right column. That doesn't look bad. Audience network, and the interstitial. So if it says it's not eligible, that means it's just not going to show for the interstitials, which is perfectly fine. It doesn't need to. All right, so you just review this information, you make sure it looks good. You can enter a specific post ID. If you used a Dart post format, you'll want to do that and then just manually enter the ID in. Track all conversions using dummy pixel, yes. And then as soon as you're done, all you have to do is click place order right here. And since this is a dummy account, I'm just gonna go ahead and go back to the budget. I'm gonna set it to $1 just because I'm not trying to make sales off this particular account. All right, I'm gonna hit place order. And we are good to go after I insert my card. I'll see you guys on the next lesson on going over Facebook metrics. See ya.